Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, the podcast in which we celebrate and discuss the film Raiders of the Lost Ark 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Tom Taylor.
Okay. I'm Terry Porter.
And I'm Heather Antos.
Hi, Heather.
Hey, yeah, I'm back.
So minute 98 begins with Belloq being a gentleman and putting his jacket over a freezing cold Marion, and ends 1 minute later with a German U-boat officer yelling, "Dive, dive!"
Yeah, okay, so it starts off with Belloq being a gentleman, however you want to say that. When the last minute, he's just like, she better please me, guys. Here, let me give you my jacket. But like, that's not the thing that bothers me the most. What I don't understand, and it's an acting choice or a directing choice that was had with Marion, is that, you know, this is a girl who's been so super feisty, and as you guys stated, like, she's got moxie, and she just lets him put this jacket on her. Like, she doesn't shrug it off. She accepts it. She, you know, like, I don't know. It just bugs me.
Well, I wonder if that's her playing along. Like, if it's, I mean, it has to be just her playing along. Like, she's like, okay, Katanga told him that she killed Indy, or that he killed Indy, and that means
yeah,
Indy is somewhere.
Let me play along and willingly go with the Nazis, though? No, thank you.
Well, A, what's she gonna do? And B, I mean, she could, you're right, she could do something like, up yours, Belloq, but okay, I guess you got me.
Or just even slightly try and shrug it, and then he can do that, like, no, you're wearing this.
Yeah. She, you know, that's a really good point. She does seem totally, you know, kowtowed or whatever.
Yeah, she just tried to take a swing at him, you know, not minutes before, and now, I don't know, it just irks me.
Although I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but there may be something happening in a minute or two from now that will make us think that maybe she's just kind of biding her time, and she's kind of like, you don't get yours.
I guess so. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't like it.
Hey, is that guy just playing with his compass?
Peter.
Yeah, like, I mean, because, you know, Belloq and some higher-ups walk by, and that guy charting, the Nazi submarine, you know, compass player, he starts walking his compass up like,
I'm a little man.
He's trying to look busy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was wondering. Is he trying to look busy because, you know, the higher ups are walking? It's like, oh, come on, here they come. Look like you're doing something.
Oh, I'm triangulating positions on a map. Look at me go.
But you know what I liked about that? That scene made me happy because when I was in 8th grade playing with my compass, I thought, you know, when the hell am I going to use this crap?
What, am I, some sort of U-boat driver?
Yeah, here's a real life guy walking a compass, and he's either doing work or he's shirking.
Yeah.
But in both scenarios, the compass is useful.
I think it might be more useful in one scenario than the other, though.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you.
It's up for you to decide which moment that is, though.
I've always been sort of surprised and impressed, but mostly just surprised that they actually bother showing Belloq and Marion walking through the sub, the inside of the sub.
They seemed like very obvious actor doubles.
It
like
totally
they look like kind of like bad Halloween versions of Toht, Belloq, and Marion.
Yeah.
No, you look at their hair and like they're the wrong height, and they're
Marion looks a little I don't know, stocky or something.
And they've got their heads always turned away from the camera, so
yeah, no, that's very, very true.
But it's weird that they bothered trying to show that at all. Like, okay, we get it. They came from that U-boat. They're going back to that U-boat. Okay.
I don't think you understand, though. I think you really need to see it.
I guess so. Now I understand.
Well, like at second 11, a guy walks by with Indy's hat.
Yeah.
What? Stop it. What are you talking about?
Pete, look at it right now.
Wait, are you talking about the guy that comes down the ladder?
there's like a guy who walks by, you know, the guy playing with his compass.
Oh yeah, that guy.
He's got like Indy's hat.
Yeah.
And like a leather jacket or something, or I can't tell if that was shine or not.
Wait, where? This is
second 11.
Second 11.
He's the first, or he's not the first guy, but he's.
Oh, that's Toht.
Is that who it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Well, he took Indy's
that's
hat.
The Halloween Toht. He's got the black leather coat. See, they're all like Belloq's got like dark brown hair. Yeah. They're all like Ed Wood versions of Bela Lugosi. Versions of these three people. It's like it's Steven Spielberg's chiropractor. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Wait, yeah, that's the fake Toht. That's the fake. Yeah, there's no Indiana Jones hat.
But speaking of Indiana Jones, I always thought that this guy coming down the ladder. When I was a kid, I thought that was Indiana Jones. Like the guy in the hat and the leather coat.
And he's gonna go, "Oops, forgot my toothbrush."
There is a missing scene here, though. This was supposed to have Michael Sheard, who played Admiral Ozzel in The Empire Strikes Back, was supposed to be the U-boat captain.
Oh, that's right.
And they were filming, and he ended up having to go do another program for the BBC. And because of the weather, they got held up, and he didn't make it onto this day of the shooting.
Oh,
Did he have something to do? Like, was he? What was his character supposed to do?
Well, he was the captain of the U-boat.
Okay.
And so I think he had some lines that they kind of kludged together some other people to make it seem like they're in charge. But there is a phantom scene coming up where we actually get to see Michael Sheard.
Does he come out of the water too close to the surface? Thank you.
Well, it definitely, the scene definitely adds to the dream aspect.
Definitely.
Well, speaking of why is the sub getting Probot communications from Hoth?
Rats in the backpack. Rats in the backpack.
Yeah, man, it sounds like the Probot.
It does.
It does. No, you're right. You're very right.
Ben Burtt got his files mixed up. Or he had a Probot in the room with him when he was recording all this stuff. Which is
I always thought about this as you can cut this out, Tommy, if you want. But I always thought, like, did that one Probot, because they sent like thousands of them out all over. Did that one Probot be like, I found them? I found them.
Yeah.
Me.
You know what? I hope
that's
not.
a good segue, by the way, Jerry.
Oh. How come?
Well, we'll get there in a minute. We'll get there in a second. Go ahead, Tom.
Oh, no. I was going to say, I hope that Probot doesn't think that because he has a self-destruct, and I don't want him to be excited and feeling good about himself and then be like, now I got to blow myself up for the good of the Empire. I just got sad. It's about a different movie. Who had to bring up Admiral Ozzel and Probots? Damn it.
Well, so we go from here, we cut back to the Bantu Wind, and Katanga's talking to that great first mate, and there are a bunch of guys just kind of sitting there, not doing anything. They're just kind of staring off into the horizon.
Yeah, they're all just kind of like, all right, there go the Germans with Miriam.
Yeah.
Damn it. She was our hot piece.
Some pirates we are.
But I like the guys like, I've looked everywhere. And Katanga's like, he's got to be here somewhere. Look again. And the guy just turns his head slightly. And to quote Jerry in the Probot, he goes, I found him.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is like, it's not just I found him. Like, he says it so casually. He's just, I found him. Where? And then he points with such energy.
Yeah.
But everybody
such exuberance. Like, he's right there.
Well, it's like when you're trying to find your keys and you really don't think you were going to find them. And then you finally do. And it's not like, I found them. It's like, I found them. Everything's all right.
When he says, I found him, and then they cut, Indy is still in the water. He hasn't come out yet.
You know what? That's one of my movie pet peeves. That happens so often. You see somebody reacting to something, and then they cut to something that hasn't happened yet. And you like see the full reveal that they should have already seen.
Yeah, so, he should already be climbing on the boat.
Yeah. That could have been some...
Does anyone ever say the word captain? Because he calls him captain.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that why... Yeah,
can't find Mr. Jones, Captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and is that why it's Captain Crunch?
Yeah, I was going to say he's named after the cereal, which is actually Captain Crunch.
Yeah. Like nobody ever says Captain.
Well, and speaking of titles, he doesn't call him Dr. Jones. He says, can't find Mr. Jones. And I'm wondering if these guys are smart enough to see past kind of the archaeologist doctor charade.
Punk ain't no doctor.
So they're fashionable and intelligent pirates.
Yeah, they know what's going on. They need to be able to read people as part of their pirating. They can sense a fraud a mile away.
Well, is it fair to say neither of these boats are moored, right?
Right.
In the movie, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it
would be hard to swim between those boats.
That's a huge distance. Yeah,
It's a
Michael
giant
Phelps.
distance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps.
Is there a
And then
cutscene with like
and then
a
when
dolphin or
Indy gets
something?
on top of the sub, he looks around like, "Where's the front door to this thing?"
That's the thing. Yeah, he gets on it. He climbs up the little ladder thing, and then he does like a circle on top of it, like a dog
like-
trying to find his bed.
Yeah.
Pirouetting.
And here I'm thinking, like, is this submarine about to go under? If it is, they've probably closed and locked all the doors.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the first
how does he
thing.
get in?
Yeah. It's one of the main things you do with a submarine is you make sure it's nice and closed up. Yeah.
As
so
he
archaeologists
is
don't
climbing
get in.
onto the submarine, there's a really nice little John Williams seagoing kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
shanty fanfare.
That's incredible.
And then
there's
he does that salute.
I was going to say, there's a hell of a salute.
That salute's incredible. Both of them. Like his
Yeah,
and
both
Katanga's
of 'em.
return.
This minute is almost from like it was made in 1936 or
Yeah.
something. It's like
Yeah.
this could be, I don't know, Clark Gable, Hey you go,
Absolutely,
boys.
yeah.
I'll whip those
And
Nazis.
the first mate has that salute like he's tipping his cap.
Yeah.
Hey.
By the way, this scene, I remember I would lay awake at night in bed and I'd be thinking, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't feel like going to sleep. And I was like, oh, you know what? I always thought, I remember coming up with this and feeling great about myself. I always thought that Indiana Jones lost his hat in this scene. Like when he gets to the U-boat, he doesn't have his hat. But wait,
Yeah.
he left his hat on the boat and Katanga is pals with Sala, so he'll send it back to Sala, and then Sala will get it to Indy in the States. That's cool. He's fine. He's got his hat. Everything's going to be all right.
Well, no, Toht just stole it.
No, he didn't. Stop it. You're insane.
Well, if Sala had the hat, that might explain why Mutt wanted it.
I'm trying to get to sleep, Jerry, and you're ruining it. I was almost asleep. Mutt. Who said Mutt? Who said
Who
Mutt?
said mutt?
I'm never getting to sleep now.
Oh,
Does
no.
it seem like a bad idea for all these guys on the Bantu Wind to be shouting and jumping up and down like that with the Nazis looking out the periscope?
Well, that's how, like, they're all cheering and saluting. I don't know. Maybe they're cheering the Nazis on. Maybe they're on the Nazi side after all. Yeah,
Don't
go
let
with
him
that.
Thanks for not blowing us out of the water. You guys are not as bad as they all say.
Even though you threw a cigarette down her.
Well, I wondered if that one, remember the smiling first mate? The first mate, like the second mate who was smiling with the beautiful teeth.
Uh-huh.
Wonderful. I wonder if he knows. He's like, they found the ark.
He knew what was up.
Like he's kind of the one detractor among the bunch.
Yeah. They don't give him much to do because he's just going to mess it up.
But he'll look great doing it.
Yeah. He just keeps smiling. People will accept him.
So our next minute coming up. Oh, go ahead.
That doesn't work. We found that
Oh,
out.
that's true.
Yeah.
Why would I say that? Now I'm going to get Jerry sad. I'm sorry, Jerry. People, we've proved in this movie already that smiling gets you killed ruthlessly.
Horribly.
So our next minute, I think, is going to be one of the most controversial of the movie. And it is what is supposed to happen is directly contradicted by the last line of this minute, where the German officer yells, "Tauchen, tauchen," which is dive, dive.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going. Yeah, this is going to be, there's going to be nerd alert. Pitchforks are going to be sharpened for the next couple of minutes.
I didn't come prepared, guys.
We should be okay. We have a comic book editor on the show. We're going to be all right. The nerds can't get us.
Oh, they'll get you.
Well, yeah. Does anybody have anything else for this minute?
No, other than I just love watching the last second with Indy just circling on top of that submarine, and then he does this nice pose and like slicks his hair back.
Yeah, it's almost like he's going into like a I'm blanking on his name. Jack Kirby, like a Jack Kirby kind of hero pose.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a nice like silhouetted, moment. He just
his feet are planted.
And then the German pops in again, and you get sad.
Nah, this whole movie's like that. You go from exciting.
The Germans pop in, and you get sad. That neatly sums up Indiana Jones and the Raiders.
That's why they call it a roller coaster. It's not an adventure. It's just an emotional roller coaster of excitedness and sadness.
Well, all right. Well, if listeners want to call in or write in and comfort us because of this emotional roller coaster, where can they find us?
They can bring their soothing teas and balms and things to visit us on Facebook on the Indiana Jones Minute and the Listener's Crusade, or they can find us on Twitter at Indiana Jones Min, and they can visit our website, indianajonesminute.com, where we've got links to all our episodes, and you could even, what else can they do there? We've got like a library of like cool stuff from the movie and all sorts of stuff, so please visit us in all those places.
Great. And I forgot what Tom always says here. So join us tomorrow for another thrilling episode of the Indiana Jones Minute.
I found him. That was a combination of him saying I found him and Katanga saying I killed him.
Is that what that was?
I think so.
That was awesome.
I don't know if that was planned.
That freaked me out how you guys switched it like that. Didn't even tell me nothing.